All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Here we are in a brand new tour adventure, and we're going to be doing the New Zealand South one here. So there's actually New Zealand South. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. So there's a New Zealand South, a New Zealand North, and a New Zealand Historic one. So we're going to do the South and then the North, and then we'll do the historic one and just kind of knock them all out at the same time. This first one has 9 legs to it. The North has 8, and the historic district one is only 3. So that's what the plan is going to be here. So we're going to start here in South New Zealand, and we're going to take a look at the nav flight here real quick before we take off. So we're taking off from this little island, Center Island, and we're going to be flying over the water, a little bit of there, a little bit of the inland here, flying up the coast, and then we're going to fly along the, I don't know how you pronounce this, but it's going to be a national park. Looks like some nice little mountain peaks here to look at, and possibly even fly through this little valley here. So that's going to be neat. Looking at hopefully landing on, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. They got a grass runway and another paved runway. So hopefully either 26 or 32. So appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate the love and support on the channel. Hope everybody enjoyed the Finland tour. We're going to do something a little bit different here. We're in the Beechcraft, what is this thing called? The Beechcraft G36. So we're going to be taking off at this grass runway here, and we're going to get this thing going. So nice little greenery to start out with. We're going to head on into the cockpit here, and we'll take a look at all the good stuff here. So let's see. Where are the lights here? So you got strobe lights are on, beacon lights, navigation lights. We can go ahead and hit the floodlight, the panel lights. So that thing keeps kind of coming up there, so I don't know, whatever. And the taxi lights there. All right, we'll keep the floodlights off. Standard navigation system here. We got our altitude adjustment, our header adjustment, and then we got the autopilot to turn on there, the heading versus nav, and our FLC mode. So all right, we got everything. We got the basics in play here. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of our flaps. We're going to retract those. We're going to adjust our trim to a takeoff position here, and be good to go. So we're going to release the parking brake and go ahead and hit the throttle and get this thing up in the air. So appreciate it once again, guys. Hope everyone enjoys this one. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to take off here. We got positive climb. We're going to retract our wheels. Reduce our throttle a touch. And we're going to bank over here to the right. And say goodbye to the island there. So this is the start of a lengthy New Zealand tour adventure. Appreciate having you. We're going to do mostly manual flight here, I think. Alright, we're going to adjust our trim here down. Maybe 0%. Seems good. Alright, we're going to try to keep this low and see what kind of scenery we got. And I'll bring up our nav map here. So that we can see what's going on. Alright, we're going to move this up a touch and get this ready for our landing. And then we're going to head on out of here. Alright, so flight path makes a left-hand turn, so we're going to do okay sitting here on the left side of the flight plan. We'll meet up with it. We got some rolling hills. I wouldn't necessarily call them mountains just yet, but I'm sure we will, looking at the nav map there. That national forest looked like it was a pretty good mountain range. So in the meantime, we're just going to fly steady here, take a look at the farmland, see if anything spots out or pops out that we should be flying along with. We can deviate from the flight plan a little bit. But we do have 54 nautical miles. And since we did take off, we'll try to use the ATC and we'll request flight following.
New Zealand Center Beechcraft Oscar Hotel. India November X-ray is type Beechcraft G36, 7 miles. North of November Zulu Romeo Victor 800 feet. Request flight following. Beechcraft Oscar Hotel. India November X-ray. New Zealand Center. Squawk 6252.
Alright, we'll acknowledge the squawk.
Squawk 6252 Beechcraft India November X-ray. Beechcraft India November X-ray radar contact. 9 miles north of November. Zulu Romeo Victor 1,100 feet. QNH 101 tree. Roger Beechcraft India November X-ray.
Alright, there we go. We got ATC taken care of and out of the way. And we're just going to enjoy the view here for a little bit. Alright, seems pretty flat. So we took off at 22 feet above sea level. The runway that we were landing at is over at NZMO is 683 feet. We're going to get ready to fly up the coast here before we get those mountain views. And I think what we'll do is follow this road that's right here. That should give us a decent view of the coast. This road is labeled as 99 on our nav map. So I think we'll follow this for a little ways. Cruising at about 170 knots, so we're moving along. Or actually, that's kilometers per hour, to be exact. Apparently, we're passing something called Fresh Eggs Free Range Far, and McCracken's restaurant is coming up. Seems like a neat little water thing here. We'll get a little closer look here. reduce the throttle before we max out the plane. And 99 just veered off to the right, so no worries on following the road anymore. And there's a lagoon coming up here. Off to our right there. Oh, and we're going to have to make a right-hand turn here. We're going to increase the throttle, pick up a little bit of elevation, make a sharp right. So follow this flight plan up here. I actually almost missed that. So we're cruising along here. We got 42 nautical miles to go to the airport, 31 to the top of the descent. So it looks like we're going to be following this river up for a bit. We're back up to that 170 kilometers per hour. We'll wind our way up here along the river. Got a little bridge there crossing the water. Alright, and we're coming up to a cemetery off to our right or left hand side. Pretty much right there. I think that's the cemetery. Alright, we are cruising along here. We got 24 nautical miles to go to the top of the descent. Cruising along at a pretty fast clip here. It looks like we're going to be following this road up here. Oh, this is 99 again, I think. So we basically just picked up that same road that we were following before along the coast. Alright, there is a Valley Primary School here right below us. Try to get a backwards view of that without crashing the plane. Not working out so hot there. We're going to move on over here to the left just a touch. I feel like we lost our view There we go. All right, 20 miles to the top of our descent. Cruise along. We're going to be following the river up here on the right hand side. There you go. That's how I should maneuver the camera. Got to use two hands on that, not one. Oh, nice. Southern Scenic Route is this road. Where is that road? I think it's this one over here. Yeah, this road right here is called the Southern Scenic Route. It's going to take you all the way down to where we were just coming from. So very scenic there. We got the national park there off to our left and straight ahead. There's a lake lookout coming up, which I guess is this area right over here. Alright, we are going to raise our elevation just a touch here. So the airport sits at about 700 feet. This is probably good enough to get a decent look at the runway from at least 2 or 3 miles out. And we're going to unselect the tracking on our nav map here. I think ideally landing in runway number 32 might be good. That's the grass runway. So we'll try to go ahead and aim for that. So if we can select the runway, we'll do that. We are looking at NZMO. We're going to select the runway number 32. And we'll announce our full stop landing intentions and our position.
Manapouri traffic, Beechcraft Oscar Hotel. India November X-ray 21 miles south 1900. 4 inbound to land runway tree 2.
Alright, so we're 21 miles out. We're going to come up to Black Mount. Definitely getting a little more rugged on the terrain. So this is going to be the mountain views that we're looking for. Go ahead and see what that looks like in the cockpit. Zoom out just a touch, get a little bigger view here. So very nice scenery here. I think maybe we'll leave that in the cockpit view for a moment. as we come up to this one, maybe we'll scoot this over and hit this little mountainside hill here on the right hand side. We'll zigzag around this mountain. Go up and over. Lots of dense forestry there. Alright, very neat there. So let's go ahead and hop back into the airplane. So we're cruising at about 140. We're looking at runway 32. Now I know I've flown this airplane before, it's been a minute, so I'm not sure how fast this thing stops. But we will find out on this grass runway. That is the runway straight ahead there. Or not the runway, but the airport. Can't see the runway just yet. Alright, we're going to follow this river up just a little bit and fly on the right hand side of this mountain. Alright. But we do have to veer off a little bit to the right to start lining up to the runway because we are less than 10 miles out. And we should probably prepare and, get ready for landing and whatnot. But it looks like the top of the white arc is 125 miles or kilometers per hour. So we're going to reduce our throttle a little bit, so that we can retract our landing gear, extend some flaps. What is that? 12 degrees of flaps. And then we'll get ready to line up to this grass runway here. We're 5 miles out from the airport is what that says. Sitting at 109 kilometers per hour, looking at 85, ideal for touchdown. I think we are lined up for it pretty good. Go ahead and zoom in here just a touch. adjust our camera to see above the dashboard. Oh, I gotta pause that real quick. My kid's calling. I'll be right back. Alright, so I am back. Sorry about that. Kid was calling and I had to go do the parent thing for a second, but it was good timing. We got about 3 miles until the runway, so we're going to hit resume here. Get back under control here. And we'll come in here. I'm watching my speed on the bottom right or bottom left hand side of the screen there. We're at 95. We're doing good. I feel like I'm kind of kissing the windshield a little bit, so I'm going to move back just a touch. There you go. And we can now actually see the speed on the flight display there. Alright, wind is left to right. I'm wondering, the runway is actually over here. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of our throttle, line up to this runway here. Speeds at 85, we're looking good. Everything's looking good, very smooth. Flare up a little bit. All right. So not too shabby there, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the ground here. And we're going to turn off right over here. And head into the parking area. So first landing here in New Zealand. It's going to be one of many. We're going to navigate to this little paved area here for parking. We got this plane floating in the air. So with that, we'll set the parking brake. We'll head on in here. We'll shut the engines down. And let's go ahead and get an exterior view here. Which way we want to go here for a picture. This one looks good. Got some trees, the mountains in the area. We got the plane going. And and we'll get that. So we'll take a screenshot of this. That'll be our thumbnail for the second one. So appreciate you tuning in for the first New Zealand tour adventure, and we'll see you on the next one. So hope everybody's enjoying their Monday, and we'll be back soon enough, probably tomorrow morning.